In this video, we are going to show you the perfect itinerary for London, the capital of England, and the United Kingdom. One of the questions we get the most is how to build a logical itinerary in a gigantic city, where the subway has dozens of lines and attractions are spread across different zones. Many people make the mistake of staying only 3 days, thinking they can see everything and end up spending all their time on the subway or miss the chance to enter the Tower of London because the line was huge. London requires calm for afternoon tea and strategy for museums. To see the absolute basics focusing only on Big Ben and a museum, you need 3 days. But to explore street markets, visit charming neighborhoods like Notting Hill, navigate to Greenwich, and take a day trip to Windsor, we recommend a full week. That is why we prepared a super complete 7-day itinerary with the best of London so you do not waste time. So let us get started. What is the best time to visit London? The city is famous for rain, but it is not quite like that. The best time by far is May, June, and September. The days are long, the parks are in bloom, and the temperature is pleasant. Summer, July and August is very hot, the city gets crowded, and the subway gets stuffy, but the sun sets at 9 at night. Winter is magical at Christmas with the lights of Oxford Street, but it gets dark at 4 in the afternoon and it is very cold. And how many days to stay? London is inexhaustible. The number one mistake is underestimating the size of the city. The recommended minimum is 4 days. The ideal is 7 days to do everything calmly. Now let us get to the day by day. Day 1. The heart of the monarchy. Arrive at Heathrow Airport and take the Elizabeth line to the center. It is modern, has air conditioning, and is cheaper than the express train. Start with the ultimate icon Westminster subway station. Upon exiting, you come face to face with Big Ben and Parliament. The view is striking. Walk to Westminster Abbey. It is where kings and queens have been crowned and married for 1,000 years. It is worth entering with an audio guide to see the tombs of Isaac Newton and Charles Darwin. Cross Westminster Bridge for the classic photo of Parliament over the River Thames. On the other side is the London Eye. The Ferris wheel offers a 360-degree view. Buy a ticket with a scheduled time so you do not waste time in line. Walk along the riverfront called Queen S Walk to the South Bank Centre, an area full of street performers, skate parks, and food trucks. Staying in a good region will make your trip much easier. The strategy in London is to stay within zones 1 or 2 of the subway. The first option, and the most practical, is Covent Garden or Soho. You are in the center of the action close to theaters and restaurants. You can do everything on foot, but it is expensive and noisy. The second option is Kensington or Chelsea. It is the chic area close to museums and Hyde Park. It is elegant, safe, and quieter. The third option is King's Cross. It is perfect for logistics with connections to all airports and trains to Paris. And the neighborhood has been completely revitalized. We created this personalized map that explains exactly which is the best region. Staying near a central subway station, you cannot go wrong. We will leave here on the screen QR code, and in the video description the link to this map. We created them on the hotel site we always use, as it always has the best prices and free cancellation. And remembering that in this link below, we always organize everything you need to set up your entire trip for the lowest price. The sites we use to build our trips, and that have everything much cheaper, such as international eSIM, cell phone chip to have internet, and City Mapper, which is essential travel insurance with discount mandatory, in Europe tickets for the London Eye, and Harry Potter that sell out good and cheap hotels we have already stayed at, and the global account. Save this page in your favorites. Day 2. Bloody history and street food. Start early at the Tower of London. Arrive at opening to see the crown jewels without a line. It is a medieval castle that has been a palace, prison, and zoo. Take the free tour with the beefeaters, who are the ceremonial guards to hear stories of executions. Leave and cross Tower Bridge. It is the most beautiful bridge in the world. You can go up on the glass walkways or just cross on foot for free. On the other side of the river, have lunch at Borough Market. It is the oldest and most famous food market. Try the grilled cheese sandwich, the donut from Bread Ahead, or fresh pasta at Padella. The smell in this place is incredible. Walk along the waterfront, passing the warship, HMS Belfast, Shakespeare-esque Globe Theatre, and the Tate Modern Gallery. End the day watching the sunset at Sky Garden or the Shard, the tallest building. Sky Garden is free but requires reservation weeks in advance. Day 3. The Guard and the Museums. Go to Buckingham Palace. The changing of the guard happens at 11 in the morning on alternate days, so check the schedule. Arrive an hour early if you want to see the soldiers up close. Walk through St. James's Park, the most beautiful royal park full of squirrels and pelicans, to Trafalgar Square. Visit the National Gallery, which has free entry to see Van Gogh's sunflowers. In the afternoon, go to the Kensington neighborhood to visit the Victorian-era museums. The Natural History Museum is beautiful, looks like a cathedral, and has dinosaurs. The V&A, or Victoria and Albert, is the largest design museum in the world and has a wonderful cafe. End the day shopping at Harrods department store nearby. Even if you do not buy anything, visit the food hall on the ground floor. Day 4. The alternative side and shopping. Take the subway to Camden Town. It is the neighborhood of rock punk and rebellion. The Market Camden Lock is on the edge of the canal and has exotic clothing stores. vinyl records and street food from all over the world. It is vibrant and chaotic. From there, go to the British Museum. This is where the treasures of humanity collected by the British Empire are located, such as the Rosetta Stone and the Parthenon marbles. It is immense and free. In the late afternoon, go to the shopping center on Oxford Street and Regent Street. Enter the Hamleys Toy Store and Liberty London, a beautiful Tudor-style building. Have dinner in the Soho neighborhood or in Chinatown. Day 5. Movie Charm & Park. Go to Notting Hill. Saturday is the Antique Market Day on Portobello Road. But the neighborhood is beautiful any day with its colorful houses. Look for the bookstore from the movie and the colorful doors for photos. Walk to Hyde Park. It is the lung of the city. Visit Kensington Palace where Princess Diana lived. Bonus option. If you are a Harry Potter fan, swap the afternoon of this day for a visit to the Warner Bros. Studio Tour, London. It is about an hour from the center, needs train and bus or transfer, and you see the real sets, costumes, and drink butterbeer. Tickets sell out 2 months in advance, so buy as soon as you book the trip. Day 6. Time and the Sea in Greenwich. Today starts with a different tour. Go to Westminster or Embankment Pier and take the Uber boat by Thames Clippers. Use your normal transport card to pay. Sail down the River Thames to Greenwich. It is a beautiful ride where you see the city from another angle and pass under Tower Bridge. Arriving in Greenwich, visit the Cutty Sark. It is a legendary 19th century sailing ship that brought tea from China, and today is an impressive museum. For lunch, go to Greenwich Market. It is one of the most charming and oldest markets in London, full of street food stalls, crafts, and antiques. In the afternoon, prepare your legs and climb the hill of Greenwich Park to the Royal Observatory. That is where the Greenwich Meridian Line is located, dividing the world into east and west. The view from up there, with the modern buildings of Canary Wharf in the background, is one of the best in London. On the way back, take the DLR Docklands Light Railway. It is a driverless light train. Try to sit in the front seat to feel like you are piloting the train amidst skyscrapers. Day 7. The King's House or Magic. Today is a day trip day. You have 2 incredible options. Option A, Classic. Take the train at Paddington or Waterloo Station and go to Windsor. The trip takes less than an hour. There you visit Windsor Castle, which is the King's favorite official residence and the largest inhabited castle in the world. Visit St. George's Chapel, where Queen Elizabeth II is buried. Then cross the bridge on foot to the town of Eton, home to the elite school where Princes William and Harry studied. Option B, Wizarding World. If you did not go on day 5, dedicate this day to the Harry Potter Warner Bros. Studios. It is a total immersion in the films, seeing the Great Hall Diagon Alley and the Hogwarts Express. Remember, this tour requires a ticket bought months in advance. Return to London and have your farewell dinner in Covent Garden. Watch the street performers in the piazza, have dinner at one of the Italian restaurants or the famous The Ivy Market Grill, and end the night with a drink in the neighborhood. An important tip that will save you time and money is to buy tickets for attractions and tours in advance. On the spot, it is always more expensive, and the most famous tourist spots can have long lines. We will leave in the screen QR code and in the description the link to the site where we always buy tickets and tours for the lowest price. It is the largest tour site in the world and has practically everything there. Everything at the lowest price, and you can buy in any currency, saving on fees. An important tip is about transportation. The London subway is divided into zones. Be aware that Heathrow Airport is in Zone 6, but most attractions are in Zone 1. The daily billing cap adjusts automatically. Always use the same card, physical or phone, all day for the system to calculate correctly. And on buses, you cannot pay with cash, only contactless card. Quick gastronomy tips. Besides classics, try Indian food. The unofficial national dish of England is chicken tikka masala. The Dishoom restaurant is the most famous and delicious, but there is a line, so go early. And for a quick and healthy snack, Pret a Manger chains are on every corner. Mandatory documentation for international tourists. Visa. Most Western citizens do not need it for tourism up to 6 months. Valid passport. Travel insurance. It is highly recommended. Medical care in England is excellent, but can cost very dearly for tourists. Immigration may ask to see your policy. We never travel without it. And in the link in the description there is the comparator we use. And how much does it cost to eat? London is expensive. A full English breakfast costs between $13 and $20. Dinner at an average restaurant costs between $40 and $65 per person with drinks. And what to do at night? If you like historic pubs, do a pub crawl, which is a tour of bars through the Fleet Street region, where journalists and writers used to drink. The Ye Olde Cheshire Cheese Pub is a classic that was rebuilt in 1667. If you liked this detailed 1-week itinerary, like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you very much, and safe travels.